right? We got Nigerians, South Africans just going at it, man. Let's just get straight into this one, man. There's no need to be talking. Get straight into it, man.
Africans are some of the coolest people in the world. Like, oh my God. Like,
What's going on here? Hold up, so we can get this straight. So hard to get stuff
South
popping.
Africans are some of the, as an immigrant, South Africans are some of the coolest people in the world. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm Nigerian. My Zulu is not the best. I speak English 90% of the time. Imagine being in a taxi. People be like, oh, it's probably bad. Nah, bro. I've never had a bad experience with a taxi driver in my life. I've had worse experiences with Uber drivers than taxi drivers, bro. Taxi drivers, I ask questions. I'll be like, yo, where do I get from here to here? They'll be like, yeah, man, just do this, do this. No. They'll slow down English a bit because it's not their best. But they do that and they help me. And I'm like, bro, shout out South Africans.
So what he's basically saying there, for those that don't really get it, is he's saying that taxi drivers are usually South Africans, basically, right? The people that actually can drive a taxi, whatever. They are citizens of the country, whereas Uber drivers are usually people that are foreigners that are just doing Uber, in the area. Obviously, what he's not, I guess not. I won't say he's not getting, but what he's probably not explaining there is very hard for a Uber driver to know the area very well if he's asking directions, if they just using maps. Whereas a taxi driver, usually taxi drivers are people that have like a almost like a geographical, a geographic. I don't know how to explain it basically, but their understanding of the land, right, the geographical location, whatever the case may be, right, is like pinpoint because they grew up there. They've been riding longer in that area, so obviously they can help him out, and it's gonna appear like they're probably more personable, right? But a lot of this can be down to knowledge. If somebody's not confident enough about something, they don't feel that they're knowledgeable, they're probably not going to have confidence in that. That's probably what's happening there. But we're just trying to throw something out there. This is make it like a balanced, a balanced perspective.
Y'all be cool for real.
Guys, I've literally spent all day talking to Nigerians about xenophobia in South Africa, and you are not understanding the point. This is the point. So, xenophobia is not right. That's not what I'm saying. It's not wrong. Yes, your trauma and your hurt and your feelings are valid. But you are angry about the Nigerians that are being killed in South Africa. What about the Nigerians that are actually being killed in Nigeria? How many times have you seen a dead body on the road everybody walks past? All the kidnappings that are doing, SARS are still killing people.
These are facts.
Like, people are dying in Nigeria every day. That one is not paining you. That one is not, you're not protesting. It's not.
And many people have mentioned this is obviously we're talking about Nigeria and South Africa right now, but people have argued this in other, in other situations, basically, where they say this stuff happening in your country. You're talking about somebody else's situation, whatever, but what's happening in yours? Are you not, paying about what's going on in there? What's going on there? I can make examples, but I don't want to like digress, basically. But what she's saying is facts. A lot of people will say something else, but they don't say what's happening in their own backyard. Like, it's
Eating your trauma in your heart. That one is right. Actually, you know what? Let's take a step back. Why are there so many Nigerians in South Africa? Why are there so many Nigerians all around the world? Why can't you stay in Nigeria? Let me tell you why. One, we are so focused on AI. We're spending thousands on tech and the AI infrastructure data system that's going to change your country has no lights.
She's saying, okay, so first off, she said, why are people all over the world Nigerian? Well, one of the reasons why, let's be honest with ourselves, Nigeria, as many people know, I can't say some people call it, some will call it third world country, some will just call it the place where, it's not easy basically to become, right? Because the opportunities are not there. That's why people come to the land of opportunities, like America here, or maybe you got the UK and so forth. Europe in general, I guess not everywhere, but a few places here and there. They're lands of opportunities, what they call them. So that's why they believe in these places for opportunity. That's the main thing. It's not because they just look for AI or whatever. Like in fact, most of them can't. Most of them don't have the education or the money. Their family don't have the resources. So that's mainly why. Next up, you could say is the reason is because like the education system, right, may not, I'm not saying is, but may not be the best. So, if they have a chance to study abroad, they're gonna do that. But she's mentioning AI this and infrastructure that and whatever, and stuff when it's more to do with education. That's what she should have said. Well, okay, the education is the reason why you're going out there and trying to do this and that. So, but yeah, I think because she's arguing against is the reason why it sounds like it's not being like properly expressed. But we see where she's coming from, though.
Your country has no good roads. There's
That's
no
facts.
education. There's no basic health care.
There y'all go.
And then on top of that, your government is so stupid, corrupt. They're stealing millions.
Facts.
And you guys are focused on AI
Facts.
and data and the tech. And what is the real problems that Nigerians are leaving Nigeria? Let's start with that. 1, 2. Instead of focusing on, what they're doing there, this person is doing that. Let's focus on the real underlying problem. The real underlying problem. In order to change a country,
underlying,
you need to change the people.
Of course.
In order to change the people, who do you guys think is
the top people? But how do you get them out of the way? Is the question. How do you get those people out of the way? The people that have been trying to topple over the people at the top, but it's not. That's not easy. It's really not easy, man. When the system's in place, many people know. The whole world knows that Nigeria is, corrupt as hell. Everybody knows, and everybody been saying their leaders are the problem. How'd you get them out the way without, foreign interference?
Only thing that you actually have control of in this life? Yourself. Start by changing yourself.
But you're saying no. Say it's not just you're saying the people need to change themselves, right? So these people then go out to try to, because they're like, listen, I'm not gonna get anything here. That's them trying to change themselves. They're going out of the country to, okay, let me go get a better life. So they're actually doing that, but you're demonizing them anyway for doing that. I understand what she's saying when she says that, yeah, they're looking at AI, whatever the case may be, but there's individuals that are going out to go do this. So they're trying to change themselves. What you tell them to stay where they are, where there's not much opportunity to try to change themselves? Really, it's the people at the top. People at the top, it's very easy to displace them. That's what we're trying to say. It's very hard. Sorry, it's not easy to displace them. It really isn't easy to displace them, right? Because there's a lot of layers, But like even before you get to people at the top, there's a lot of layers involved where the people that are, in those layers, it ain't gonna move. They are puppets for the people at the top, right? They're not even gonna let you get a chance to get there. So, as I said, sometimes you gotta think about it. In these type of places, right, like Nigeria and other countries like this, foreign influence, outside external foreign interruption is needed. Like they need to get involved, like obviously America won't, and it's because it's political. It's like your country is your country. You deal with your problems because we got our own problems, right? But that's really the only way things could change, right? Is people outside getting involved, but that ain't gonna happen anytime soon, And plus, with Nigeria being one of the, if not, it's not the most populated African country, so like that's a lot of people you're trying to, bruh.
Educate yourself, learn skills, make new money. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do for.
That's why they're leaving, girl. That's why they're leaving.
Yourself, and then if every single person starts changing themselves, what do? You find solutions to the real underlying problems that society is facing. Does that make sense? And that's actually what I'm going to be teaching in my mindset webinar, like how to level up, how to get sign up for my webinar. Problem, then we find solutions to that. If not, then the problems will just keep on reoccurring. It's all about mindset. Okay, good night.
Hi guys, I'm in front of the Nigerian Commission in Pretoria, in Hatfield. I'm just gonna vlog my experience. Yep, this is us waiting in a line. You'd be surprised how many people just like me have been here since Wednesday, all waiting to go through the screening process. Yeah, I don't know if anyone can see.
And there's an example of, people trying to change their, what just happened, man? What's up, man? Basically that there, before we were so rudely interrupted by this that there was an example of people, trying to
some of the
better
coolest
that
people in the
situation.
world.
Give us a second. Trying to better the situation, right? He's in the line trying to, and look what's happening to him, right? It's not easy. It's really not easy when people are trying to make that change. People, you think that they're just, you know, not trying, but these people are definitely trying, and what they're facing is all these complications. The guy's saying he's in the line. Look how long that line was, man. I gotta fold this to somewhere suitable. Not here. Where's the all right, let's go.
South Africans are some of the
Where were we?
My morale was so low because we didn't even finish the.
Right there.
Since Wednesday, it's currently Friday.
Look, bro.
At this point, I was definitely getting very frustrated. We were waiting for days all to go through the screening process, and it was quite hard, honestly. Standing from 9 o'clock until
Till 3. Is he not trying? Is he not individually trying to better the situation?
And my morale was so low because we didn't even finish the screening process. They told me to come for another day, day 4. Yeah, guys, I think I tried. I've been to the embassy 3 times, 3 days, full days. Yeah, I don't think I'm coming back. Each day they told me to come back. I don't think I'm coming back. Yeah, that's crazy. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. My name is Fola Kester, and I'm the guy from this video. I've been here since I was like 4 years old, my whole life. I'm a Nigerian immigrant who came here when I was very, very small, and I came with my parents very much legally, very much perfect. And I grew up in South Africa my whole life. I grew up within South Africans, and many people wouldn't even guess I'm a foreigner. My own Nigerian people look at me like, are you Niger? And I'm like, yes, sir. And then it continues. I grew up facing a lot of trials and tribulations that a normal person would never, ever experience. Things such as schooling, documents, communication, so many things that doesn't make sense, but you have to go through because you're an immigrant. And after that interview, I'd like to start this platform to actually share my experiences, share what I go through, share the processes, share how people are affected. Because I can't lie to you, my story is actually insane, and I can't wait to tell it. Thank you guys very much.
Even though it came across like the young man was, he's basically just ready to put out, his own maybe channel or whatever. And this is why we've always said that sometimes it just seems as though we're in content hell right now, right? Because everybody's just trying to, okay, I can tell my story and then I can use that to, get an audience, and I can use that to, get out of my situation. Fair enough, right? But you start questioning what is real. I guess it's the both things can be true, right? Trying to do that, but at the same time, they're trying to tell a real story while also trying to use that to, better the situation, financially, whatever. But it just, you're just constantly asking, what is real? Like, what is real? Like, can I, like that earlier woman that was talking and she tried to promote something. This young man now said what he said, and at the end of it, the way he ended that, my story is crazy, and he stops it like he's trying to set something up. That's not, it is what it is, bro. We're not trying to tell him not to do it. It's just, how can people, where do we find genuine people? Everybody, with all due respect, when we say everybody are weirdos, it's because we're included, man. I'm a weirdo, like we're all weirdos here, but it's just, you start realizing how content is destroyed. The whole the plan, or whatever you want to call it, right? People want to do content, whatever. It's just destroying people's brains. It's destroying how the world is, because most people are just trying to focus on, okay, my career is I'm gonna become a content creator. And the more and more we see this type of videos, the more and more we realize this is where people are gonna be pushed towards. We're gonna be pushed towards content, just becoming content people, content. People that are losing jobs all over the place, they're going to be pushed towards what? Content. Especially if they got skill sets. They can now talk about the skill sets and become, I don't know, a lawyer talking about like the industry, being a lawyer, talking about law instead of actually doing it and, not just, sentencing people, but saving lives, trying to help people. All that stuff goes out the window. So, okay, what's the easiest way? I've now studied. What's the easiest way now to make money? Well, I can just talk about what I studied and, talk about my career as opposed to doing my career. And that's what human beings are being pushed towards right now. So that's what that was kind of going towards. I don't want to digress. I'm just saying the way he ended that made me feel like that's where he was going. And when people are gonna want to hear his story, because clearly he's gonna make it, as long as he can make it engaging. People want to be emotionally connected. That's what it is. But again, it's the real. Like, is it real? Is it genuine? Like, what can you believe nowadays? Is the question. Let's keep going, man. Oh gosh. Gosh, we apologize as always. Just give us okay. Let's see if we can quickly sort this one out. I'm gonna let him go while I sort it out.
South Africans are some, but you have to go through it. Thank you guys very much.
You know, I find it funny. Excuse me. People like to call South African xenophobic for wanting to prioritize and reallocate their resources to the people and the foundations of South Africa. I don't got any issue with that. I don't got any issue with South Africans wanting to put their needs first, put their resources first, put their identities first, and put their countries first. That's not xenophobic. Every African country, every country, period, should want the same thing. South Africans shouldn't have to sacrifice their sovereignty to be a
This guy reading something? Is he reading?
catching all for Africans and for people to come in and suck their resources dry. I stand in full support of every South African patriot and nationalist that wanting to put their country first.
He's reading.
It should not be controversial or bigoted for a South African to say, I want my country to be good, I want my tax-paying money to go to my people and not foreigners, and I want my resources to go to my people. I don't find any hate in that. I don't find any xenophobic in that.
Xenophobia. All right.
Every African country should want to put their country first. Every country should want to put their people first. Why does it always have to go to hate? Because a person wants their resources to go to the people who are native or who are generationally foundational to that country.
So this guy's.
I don't get it.
He's FBA. He's FBA.
Maybe because I was an FBA.
Okay, all right. Then this is
and the plight of South Africans, because I feel the same way. Here, they do over there. I want FBA tax-paying money to go to Americans, specifically foundational Black Americans, but Americans in general, non-immigrants. That's not xenophobic. That's survival, and that's putting your own people first. If you find that xenophobic, then what it is about you and your country that's not putting their end of the bargain. You got to go fight to make shit poppin' in your country. Just because something bad is happening in Nigeria, that doesn't mean you get up your shit up, pack your shit up, and flee to the next place and suck up their resources. That's not how it works. If you want freedom, you got to fight for it. You can't beg other people to hand you freedom yourself. Peace out.
You know what? I will say this, right? As other people, right? He's saying that to go there and suck up their resources and whatever. Which I agree, right? I agree. Don't go to another place, suck up resources if you're not working. And that's what it is. Listen, we all have to put in work. What that guy was talking about, I don't think he actually recognized that. What he was talking about when he said that, people go in there and he doesn't see he don't see it as xenophobic. If he's saying people out that are born there that are essentially FBA, so financially born Americans or financially born Africans. What he was saying in that instance, basically, right? He don't think of it as anything like hate towards somebody else, right? The problem we have here is if there are people that are lazy, right, and saying, oh, we just want this because, right? Because I was born here, basically. But you're not putting in the same effort, then nah, I don't agree. Because everything is work. If somebody comes to another country and he's putting in that work, what are you saying? Why would all blood, sweat, and tears now go to somebody because you were born there? That's laziness right there. That is nepotism. Like, people say stuff and it's like, I get it. Like, it would be great to, talk to people that think that way, to really get what they're really, understand what they mean when they say this stuff. Are you saying that they should have favoritism? Because if that's the case, then, bro, you can't complain when other people, like, for example, you can't complain about the government, for example, right? Because they're just practicing nepotism. I can't even get words out. They're just practicing nepotism, bro. You guys cannot complain about the government, man. That's what they're doing, man. They're the favorites. They're favorites. They're putting them in position, right? Y'all saying all that they're corrupt, or whatever. Y'all about, like, human being. Like, I don't think human beings realize just how similar we are in our thinking. We're all weirdos, bro. We're all weirdos. The way that guy's thinking, oh yeah, and the foundational people, they should get this, and I believe this resource should go to them, whatever. I get it if everybody is doing equal work, if everybody's doing equal effort. Okay, how do we distribute, right? How do we, delegate, or give people a certain portion, basically? What is, like, what are we making what are we making the difference maker? Right? Because they're both putting in equal effort. Okay, well, you were born here, man, and this is your country. That, like, cool, fair enough. Like, you were actually born here, cool, we can do it in that way. But when it's somebody else doing more, like, really working, really putting their neck out there, really, some people do dangerous jobs, basically, right? They're not born in that country, but they're doing dangerous jobs that helps the infrastructure run. Those people, you cannot now say, oh, no, you're going to do this work, but then the money that's going, I'm at the forward. I don't want to see this girl, like, promoting this stuff, man. The work that you're doing, your blood, sweat, and tears, basically, that you've done now, whatever, that money now going to go to, foundation. I don't think that's what he was saying, but if that's what he's saying, then, bro, then no, I disagree, bro, because at the end of the day, you need to, if there's anything I'm going to say, I'm going to just say this, right? Like, it's not bad to be selfish. He mentioned that, it's not selfish or whatever, and people you got to think about yourself. Facts. It's not bad to be selfish. In fact, you need to make sure you can take care of yourself, because nobody else will. If you don't take care of yourself, people will just bleed you dry. And that's what he's saying, whether you go in places sucking stuff. South Africa and South Africans got to take care of themselves. Facts, right? But though you can be selfish, you cannot be inconsiderate. Do not be inconsiderate. Like, and inconsideration comes from you saying, oh, they're going to other countries and just doing this and doing that and sucking up stuff. It's not sucking up any. They're not sucking up if they're putting in work themselves, right? They're putting in that pain, man. They're putting in that pain. That's when you're being inconsiderate, because now you're saying, okay, it doesn't matter what you do, we don't care. We're just going to essentially enslave you. You gonna work like a ant, slaving away, and then the money's gonna go to this person. That's slavery, bro. You guys don't even realize stuff you be practicing. You guys don't realize when y'all complain, the stuff y'all complain about, you're complaining about stuff that, people that you say are in powerful positions, and they're taking advantage of the people. They're taking advantage of the people on the ground. Y'all doing the exact same thing. The way how y'all think. Which leads me to believe, if y'all were in power, y'all would be the exact same as the people that are in power right now. Y'all be the exact same. Nothing will change. You think you're different. You think, oh, because I'm down here and they're up there, and yeah, man, they're main people, whatever. How you foundationally think, just your foundational thinking, bruh, lets me know that you are a lot more similar to them than you think. You ain't put the pieces together yet. You ain't pieced that together yet. Somehow that's missing from your brain cells. You don't realize, damn, I'm kind of thinking like them, bro. Like, why am I saying that, this person has worked hard, whatever? Why can't the most hardest person, win? That's what the world is about. When you look at capitalism, it's not usually the hardest people. It's not the hardest working people, right? It's the smartest working people, right? If you can work smart, then you basically get you get the spoils. You get the victor spoils. You can't be telling someone to be working hard, and then all that hard work that's being done by some other people, but because they're foundational now, they now get more because they're foundation. Well, I mean, like I said, if they're doing the exact same, if they put in the exact same effort, fair. I can't even, yeah, because, you know, something needs to give in terms of, okay, where the favoritism lie? Where does the favoritism lie? You're going to say, well, I was born here. This is my country. I am the child of, you know, I'm the child of, you know, of this country, and I'm putting in as much pain. Then if someone says that, you're like, yeah, that's your advantage. Why? Because the person that it came here that's doing that work got to understand that, because if the roles were reversed, we're telling that person you would also get that advantage because you're a child of where you come from and you're putting in that pain. Unfortunately, if your country, the leaders are messed up and whatever, it was up to the people around you, your elders, your family members that had the opportunity to change stuff. It was up to them to try to displace those leaders, but they didn't. They were just focusing on themselves. Really, they weren't thinking about maybe my child getting, you know, growing up. I want them to have an easier life, so let me try to change things now for them. They just did what they did, and then they put you in that position as well to try to do what you do and not focus on the generationals, right? The generation. Think about your generation. You know, the younger generation coming up. That's why we're saying that. Listen, it's about effort. Once we start removing nepotism in this world and start and rewarding people on their effort, right, as well as their smarts, you know, if someone is smart enough to realize I ain't gonna put in as much effort, in fact, I'm gonna, you know, step into a role where I'm gonna now delegate. I'm gonna give people that maybe they just want to work. They just want to work. I know what position to put them in order to make stuff flourish. That's somebody that has got a brain, right? That person's become the leader. He becomes the shot caller. You know, he's calling the shots. Yeah, you do this, you do that, because this is where you fit in. And that's a smart worker. If a smart worker can organize hard workers, and then, you know, an operation, a good, you know, running smooth, seamless operation is built, then, bro, you can't complain. You're gonna get the victor spoils. That just is what it is. That's not nepotism. That is, you know, people are either working hard or working smart, but you gotta work. You got to know your place. You got to, you know, and figure it out. It does sound like this guy was saying, yeah, it's Africans and, you know, this and that. But because it's Africans, I want stuff to go. Let's just, if you can see what he was saying, let's see. Let's catch what he was saying. Just to make sure.
Pack your shit up and flee to the next place and suck up their resources.
Let's go back here.
Here.
Let's go.
Foundational to that country. I don't get it. Maybe because I have common sense.
Wait, let's go back here.
Find any xenophobic in that. Because every African country should want to put their country first. Every country should want to put their people first.
I agree with that. That right there, we have no issues right now. Let's keep going.
Why does it always have to go to hate? Because a person wants their resources to go to the people who are native or who are generationally foundational to that country.
So here is what I'm saying. If the effort of both the person that is, you know, non-foundational and the foundational, if the effort is the same, then I agree that maybe there's going to be favoritism and some resources may go to the foundational person, right? But you got to put in your effort. You got to put in that work in order to be able to, to be able to benefit from that. You need to. You can't just be sitting around not doing much, basically little to nothing. You can't be doing that and then saying resources is going to be going there. No, bro, because that's just handouts. It means the people that are working hard are just slaves. Is that what you want? Is that what y'all want? Y'all guys want us to go back to slavery? Y'all know who's suffering in that time frame, right? Even though it might be different now, whatever, but y'all know who's suffering in that. If we're gonna go back to how it was before, yeah, nobody wants that, bro. Like, put in the work, and then you gonna get, you know, you gonna whether it be physical work or whether it be, you know, work from your mind, like mind work, like you really using your brain to put something together. Put in the work either way, and then, bro, you gonna shine.
I don't get it. Maybe because I have common sense. Maybe because as an FBA.
No, that's backwards, bro. Maybe because, you know, your sense isn't common. No, I'm joking. I was gonna say maybe, bro, you kind of don't. It's not common sense what you're saying, bro. It's what you're saying is you're trying to promote nepotism. I don't think you realize it.
I understand the plight of South Africans because I feel the same way. Here,
Listen. The South Africans should get the yes. Whatever advantages they're gonna get being South African, they're gonna get. I'm sure they're getting it already, right? But if the South Africans you're talking about, if the only reason they're getting that is because it's African, they're not doing anything else to get it. They're just being. Nah. You got to be a human doing. You got to be doing in order for us to say someone's gonna get this. You get this, you get that, whatever. You need to do something. You can't just be. You can't just be. That doesn't make, bro. That doesn't make sense, bro. Like, what do you? Again, I'm not sure if that's what he's saying, but in the comments, y'all let me know. Is that what y'all think he's saying? Is that what he's saying, or is it? You get me? Because this is a debate that many people, don't actually realize that they're making. I don't think they realize that that's the point they're making when they say foundational this and foundational that. As long as you're saying people, work and put in the work, cool, right? But that's like saying anybody that's just working in general. No, people do different types of work. People do different type of jobs. Some jobs demand more, which can also result in it demanding more money, or the role, what is it, remunerating the person more than another, because that job is tough. That job requires more, whether it be physicality or more, intellectual capacity. You're gonna get compensated for the work you do, right? And how much it's required, how much is needed, or even how niche it is in some instances. But that's where it should come from. It shouldn't just come from somebody being. It should come from somebody doing.
here, they do over there. I want FBA tax-paying money to go to Americans, specifically foundational Black Americans, but Americans in general, non-immigrant.
And that's, so you said FBA tax paying money. Then I guess that's where it ends there. I'm not gonna argue with that there. If you're saying FBA tax-paying money, then you clear it up, because that's where I could say, I can apologize and say I missed that there. But if you're saying FBA tax-paying money, that's cool, bro. You want FBA tax-paying money to go there? That's not crazy, nah. If that is his whole argument, then then what this guy's saying is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. FBA tax-paying money should be going to them. If it's going to anywhere else, it's going to other people. If we're flipping the script and saying that these people are being lazy, the non-FBA being lazy and they just want free money, 1,000%, man. They need to pack up and go home, bro. It is what it is.
That's not xenophobic.
No,
That's survival.
It's not. Yeah.
And that's putting your own people first.
That's facts.
If you find that xenophobic, then what it is about you and your country that's not putting their end of the bargain. You got to go fight to make shit poppin' in your country.
Facts.
Just because something bad is happening in Nigeria, that doesn't mean you get up your shit up, pack your shit up, and flee to the next place and suck up their resources.
Well, again, if they're sucking up the resources by not doing work, this is the confusion here. This is what I'm gonna say. This, right? A lot of times, right, you got in different countries, right? I think right now it's happening in the UK, where they're saying that a lot of people were saying they don't want foreigners, whatever, but they don't. These people that are complaining don't realize foreigners are the ones that's doing a lot of like dirty jobs. And when I say dirty, I mean like down low jobs that other UK citizens don't want to do. Right? That's what they're doing, right? Same stuff is happening in America. Same stuff is happening in America over here, right? I think it was just more loud at the time with the whole, UK, because was it the fact that the UK people didn't the UK leave the EU, right? Left the European Union, so they're no longer part of it. That's where that really became a thing. So that's where, this whole thing became the most loud at the time, was the most vocal. Was when the UK left and whatever, and then they started saying, yeah, because we don't want immigrants taking our jobs, whatever. But you guys ain't doing those jobs that you're saying, oh, we don't want them taken. Like y'all don't even do them jobs. So what this guy's talking about is like it's backwards. It's like he's saying as though the immigrants or whatever, people that are coming over, just coming over and just sucking up like resources without doing anything. When usually, it's the fact that they're coming here, they're doing, yes, they're obviously it's going to be a subset of them that are doing the negatives, which is not doing anything, just sitting around, taking money, taking this, taking that, not doing much, essentially just leeching off the country. But usually what you find is people that come over from other countries are the most hardworking because they realize, you need to understand, and psychologically, it makes sense. It makes sense psychologically as well when you like really piece it together. Somebody that's come from a different country that has only had to, that didn't have an opportunity to do anything, when they come here, they're gonna be like, oh snap, this is a major opportunity. I got people that I need to feed back home. I'm gonna do whatever to make money, right? So they just start getting paid pittance. They'll be like, yep, give me anything, I'll do it. I need to support my people. So it's usually those people naturally are the most hardworking, right? And they're doing the jobs where people don't want to do. They just don't want to do those jobs. So that's what usually happens. So this guy's argument is like it's almost like he's arguing that there's people that are packing up their stuff because they don't happy with their country. Let's just be specific here right here. He's saying Nigerians are packing up their stuff, coming to South Africa and just bumming out, just not doing anything, not working. We're seeing videos right now of people trying to fight for this, fight for that. I'm trying to, was it this guy here? Let's watch this guy right here, guys, because I'm just talking. Let's watch this video right here, right? This video was. Let me just sort this out as always. Make sure it's clean. Gotta be precise over here. We don't know about other people. We gotta be precise. Let's go.
Personally, I created the opportunity for about 30-something to 20-something South Africans who are working here recently. Am I lying? Am I lying what I'm saying? Am I lying? Am I lying? No, I have permits.
Guys, let's keep it short.
Yes.
We don't want any foreigner to run any business here, including you. So today you're closing.
See that? You see that?
Today we're closing.
Okay, I have about 24 South Africans working inside here. What about them?
No. Who are running the place? South African must run the place, not you. Not you.
But I have the document. I have the right document.
We don't care. Okay, guys.
My people.
Okay, I don't want to hear this one, but shout out to you though. Do you know why? So do you see why I was confused when this guy was saying what he was saying? I'm like, he's talking as though people are coming over and just sucking up resources. Not like this guy's set up again. What did I just say in my last a minute ago? I said if you got people that have the smarts, they work smart. So he's clearly a smart worker. He's like, cool, I'm gonna come over here, right? I'm gonna basically set something up and I'm gonna delegate. He now said, I got people working. I got South Africans working for me in there. This guy responded and said, we don't want you here. A South African should be running it. But the South African didn't have the mind to, bruh. So I'm trying to say, like, but the other guy was saying, oh yes, Africans should get, FBA this and that and FBA taxes. Is that what's going? Are you just speaking just to speak? Is what I want to know. Because what the guy said there, FBA taxes should go to the foundation of people. Cool. But what if I asked you, should non-FBA taxes, like this guy, should it go to African? Because I guarantee you it probably is going to South African people. And that's what usually happens, right? People, would have those that are slaving away, those that are not from this country, they're going to be paying taxes as well, right? To be paying people that just, on all sorts of benefits, just sitting around doing nothing. And it's usually those that are, it's those, I mean, everybody gets, and all people can, claim benefits or whatever, but it's usually those that are, of, I guess, the children of the country that will be claiming benefits even more, and then obviously you got, maybe, people, women that have kids, whatever, but these are the things that usually happen. So let's just see if we can, I'm not really bothered with, what she got to say. I want to see if is that possible? I'll give it a second. Want to see what else this woman's got to say. If she gon'. Okay, let's see if we could. Oh, I see why. Go back to this.
Personally, I created the opportunity.
Should leave. But then something interesting happens. The businessman doesn't respond in the way that many people expected. He doesn't refuse. He doesn't become confrontational. Instead, he becomes surprisingly pragmatic. Yeah. And that is where this conversation takes an unexpected turn. Because what follows is not just an argument about immigration. It's an argument about jobs. It's an argument about ownership. It's an argument about who creates opportunity and who gets to benefit from it. And so I want us to watch this confrontation.
Listen, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm a cynical bear, man. Y'all know me. Listen, this lady don't sound like what she just, you know. Some people just, you know, in a position and they built their position and then great, but this, I don't see this as genuine, man. This is what I'm saying. Listen, this is what y'all gonna catch me saying this stuff a lot, you know, about just people being genuine, man. And she's just doing this. I just feel like she's doing it. I don't know if she's, you know, when things ain't just natural, you know, my cynicalness, if that's, you know, a word, comes out, where I start looking. It's very hard for me to look at stuff and try to and like compute it. I can't compute it because I'm very much so I wear my heart on my sleeve. You feel me? So I don't know, man. Like, let me know what y'all think, but yeah, I don't think this is. I don't know. This is more. It's a bit too put together for me. Like, in terms of, like, listen, I know what I am, man. I'm a weirdo, man. Just I accept it. I'm a weirdo, bro.
Or exchange, whatever you call it, in full. And then we're going to break it down piece by piece. Because buried inside this 5-minute video are some uncomfortable questions about South Africa's economy, immigration debate, and the future of the continent itself. Let's roll the tape.
I don't think like she's not like this in real life. This is what I'm trying to say. This is not how this woman acts in real life. Yeah, everybody, you know, puts on and acts. This is, bro. Just be yourself, bro. This ain't you trying to, you know, sit like with your, you know, as if you're all analytical and nah, bro. This is an act, bro. This is the type of stuff that I'm trying. It annoys me because I'm like, what is real now? People that just ain't themselves, bro. They just be you, bro. Like.
What I was trying to say, some of you are from here in Jerusalem. You know when the Chinese was running this shop. It was when the Chinese was running this shop. This
Look at this guy, man.
The Chinese have one worker or two workers.
Look what this guy's doing, bro.
I started running this shop. I created an opportunity for about 20-something South Africans
Imagine.
who are working here in the country. You understand? I created the opportunity for about 30-something to 20-something South Africans who are working here.
Yo, those guys are distracting. It's very distracting. I want just to go back to this guy was talking about how was it Chinese people running the shop. Imagine.
In the future,
I created an opportunity for about 20-something South Africans who are working here in the country.
In itself. Let's roll the tape.
Whatever, man.
What I was trying to say, some of you are from here in Jerusalem. You know when the Chinese was running this shop. It was when the Chinese was running this shop.
This is crazy.
The Chinese have one worker or two workers. But since I started running this shop, I created an opportunity for about 20-something South Africa.
So just to make sure, because you know a lot of stuff is going on there. The cameras, you know, making those type of sounds. Basically, what he's saying is that a Chinese person was running the shop, and they had one or two workers. Whether we know their nationality or not, it doesn't matter. It's not enough workers. What he's trying to say. He's now come in. He's running it, and he's hired all, I think, 20-something, and most of them are South Africans. So he's basically putting on is what he's trying to basically insinuate here.
Africans who are working here in the country. You understand? I created the opportunity for about 30-something to 20-something South Africans who are working here recently. Am I lying? Am I lying what I'm saying? Am I lying? Am I lying? No, I have permits.
Guys, let's keep it short.
Yes.
We don't want any foreigner to run any business there, including you. So today you're closing. We've been telling you. Today we're closing.
Okay, I have about 20-something South Africans working inside here. What about them?
No. Who are running the place? South African must run the place, not you.
But I have the document. I have the right document.
We don't care. Okay, guys.
Now, my people, let's pause right here because the first thing that the businessman does is something very deliberate. Notice that he doesn't start by talking about...
Bruh, I don't want to hear.
I'm looking for the director for the government.
My bad, guys. I'm trying to find, you know. Let's go, bro. My bad, bro.
Conversation becomes fascinating.
Oh, bruh.
Notice what he mentions. But the law has always been covering illegal immigrants. I am not illegal.
You're not real.
Now think about that. Because
Put it, this is
identity, And that distinction.
She's putting this on, man. This is not her.
Let's keep going.
Be you, bruh. Be you, bruh.
What I'm telling them, I'm ready to go close. And even today, what I'm begging you guys is, get me a South African who is capable to manage this shop. I have 30-something workers here, South Africans, who, if you close this shop, they will be displaced. I want to make sure that while I'm going, they're in good hands. You give me money for my socks and everything, I will leave the shop for you. I'm even tired of all this harassment there and there. Everyone is tired.
That's crazy, bro.
Not arguing to go. My own problem is that I have trained workers over the years, for more than 13 years. It's a hard work to train good workers. They are here, a number of them. If I close and go, what about their fate? I told them several times, can you manage the shop? They said, no, the rent is expensive. Okay, calm down for me. I'm not going, I'm not leaving you guys behind. As long as I get somebody who is capable to manage this shop as South African, I will go. I'm ready to go.
My people, this is the moment that really hit me. Yeah. Listen carefully. Listen very carefully to what happens here. After all the back and forth, after all the accusations, after all the demands for him to leave, the businessman says,
all right, so she's just repeating. Yeah, we get it, man. Like, bro, like, what is there any more? Let me just see if there's more what this guy's talking about. Let's see.
So if you close now, it's none of your business whether this shop is opening or not. It's none of your business. What about those South Africans who are working here? Who have the right? It's not your consent. It's not. No. It's not his consent. Who is he? Who is he? It's not your consent, brother. So you are like a criminal here. You are not allowed to have any shop in South Africa. You are the criminal. Yeah. So criminal. So we want all these people to live there and close. Now, we've been telling you.
I'm not gonna listen to this woman. So here's the deal, guys. Right. So what these people are saying, what basically just saying is, we gon' cut off our nose to spite our face. This is what they're saying, right? Like, it's not your business whatever happens here. If you close and then it's not your business whatever. So what they're saying is, we're happy for shop to close, for money, for no money to be coming in, right, anymore, basically, and you, because we're obviously you're gonna have to pay tax, whatever. So the money that you're making from here is helping, society, basically. But we don't care. Just close anyway, because you're not one of us. We want a South African to be running it. But what if a South African can't run it? If a South African if a South African could run it, do y'all not think that the last owner would be South African? The guy just said the last owner was Chinese. What are you guys doing, bruh? You guys don't, with all due respect, I'm talking about the people there. I don't want to talk about South Africans in general. The people there, bro, y'all guys don't have, a single working brain cell between y'all to do what this guy's doing. Yet you're saying just close the shop down. It's not your business if it's not running anymore. What are you talking about, bro? I would love to ask these guys this. If y'all president came to y'all and said, okay, I'm gonna have to pick a side, whose side do you think he's gonna pick? Like, just please, who side do you think gonna pick your side up? Someone that's just saying we don't want no business running here at all if it's not South African, so we're happy for it to be closed, or is he gonna pick the side of the money? That's what that guy's doing. That guy's bringing money. This is what it's all about, right? We are operating within an economy where it is based, right? Everything is towards money. Money needs to be made, right? It's predicated on people making money, people bringing in finances into community, into the infrastructure, make sure the infrastructure is running. That's what that guy's doing. Whether it doesn't matter, what nationality he is, he's bringing in money, and on top of that, he's giving South Africans, people like you, he's giving y'all guys work, man. He's giving y'all the opportunity to make money, feed your family. What you're saying is, F those families, right? F the people the South Africans that are able to work there, that are able to feed their families. Just close the shop down, and if nobody can open it up right now, that family not gonna suffer. So everybody has to suffer because of how you feel. That's why when I go back to the other guy that was talking about FBA this and South Africans and it's not xenophobic, we get it from that point. But let's be honest with ourselves. This is what's going on. This is the real. This is why I was so confused when this guy was talking. I'm like, have I misunderstood? I had to go back just to see if you gotta make sure that you ain't coming up with, incorrect assumptions. That's why I had to go back to really understand what he's saying, just to make sure I'm not misunderstanding him. But what he's saying there is factual if it's reality. Is that the reality, or are you just talking, bro? Are you just talking from your point of view? Because the majority point of view is most people that come from different countries, people that are foreign people, right? When they come to a country, they're usually there and they're the most hardworking. That's how it usually goes, bro. Anybody want to argue that? Anybody want to argue that? Because y'all can't. So, just so I don't leave you with this person here that's just not being the realest of the real, just there trying to put on a I'm talking about this lady here. Shout out to you, man. You got your platform and all that. It's just I'm just a cynical guy. I don't want you to think it's personal. This is just me. You're going I do this to everybody. I be out here just acting an absolute fool. Why? Because I'm a weirdo. But not everybody wants to admit that they're addicted to something, man. That's why only a few people admit this. It's your boy Grizz signing out.